What is up? It's your boy the Canologist. We're going to be doing another session of Code Study Sesh and OSRS AFK training. Still training fishing. I'm trying to get to level 70. If you guys see my screen only, I'm currently at level 65 fishing, which is not bad. I'm not terribly concerned about that. Mainly because like you make a lot of money doing monkfish. Like each one of these, for example, is 512 GP. So I'm making cash, bro. I'm making some cash. All right. We were doing DNS on chapter 3. There's only 7 lessons in this chapter. Recap: a domain name is a part of the URL. And I gotta make sure this shit doesn't freeze too. So I'm just gonna be checking to see that it doesn't freeze, you know what I'm saying? And my face is glowing once again because of the tablet. But that's just the nature of like what I'm doing. I'm not terribly concerned about all that. So, domain name is part of the URL computer where the server is located. On the internet being converted to a numerical IP address, we'll cover exactly how an IP address is used by a computer, how to find the path in a later course. For now, important, cool, deploying server, because right now this is the client version of the course. Learn HTTP clients in Go. Deploying a real website. Create a server that hosts your website. Deploying a real website to the internet is actually quite simple. Create a server, host, acquire a domain name, connect the domain name to the IP address of your web server, and now your server is accessible via the internet. Well, technically, hosting services do all that for you. Like if you're on a Vercel or a Namecheap or a GoDaddy, like that'll pretty much do everything for you. But I will draw this diagram. And depending on the site that you're on, you can get more or less in terms of like your plan. Like you can get more features on your plan, like number of hits, like rate limiting, security. Okay, so which is human readable label that converts to an IP address? Domain name. So that's your actual website's name. Let's see. Not frozen yet, so nothing froze. Let's keep going. As long as I see the fish EXP going up, I know the screen's not frozen. Why don't we require users to type in the IP? We should also use autoplay. Domain names are easier for humans to remember. We should use autoplay music on websites and use the blink tag. Names are easier to remember, better for the user experience. DNS, domain name or host name, is just one portion of a URL. Okay. Teach me something. Okay. One portion of the URL, we'll get to the other parts later. Domain name or host name is just one portion of the URL. We'll get to the other parts later. For example, as a host name, that's the host name. Net URL package. You can instantiate a URL struct using URL parse. Package. URL parse. That's what we use. And then let's check this. Gotta make sure I'm looking at the correct stuff. Net URL package. You can instantiate URL struct. Parsed URL. Okay, so basically it just does the same thing. It's the same signature of all these other Golang things. pretty much going to be parsed. Parsed URL, ER. Then you can extract just the host name. Okay. This is how we get the host name. Complete the get domain name from URL function. Given a full URL, it should return the domain or host name. Domain or host name. Is that the same thing? Yes, it is. Domain name, host name. Let me add that to my notes. Okay. Complete the get domain name. One second, I just want to make sure I deposit these fish. I'm already at 500k now. Well, 250k technically. If I get 1,000 fish, that's 500k. Which isn't that bad. Okay, so get the domain name from the function. Simply return any potential errors. And then get the host name. Domain or host name. So dot host name once we get the parsed URL. But then I want to go nil for error. So it should be the exact same thing as this. Not use nil as a string value in a return statement. Okay, so then I'll just do this. Okay, 10.14, 10. Error type is not an expression. Oh, error. Should be error. Like Eren Yeager. Nice. Submit, works. What do they got in the solution? Does the same thing as me, does the same thing as me. Does completely the same thing I did. Okay, cool. Perfect. That's as good as it gets, technically. Let's keep it moving. What is the domain name system? We've talked about this. We've talked about domain name systems, but we haven't talked about the system that makes them work. DNS, domain name system, is the phone book of the internet. Okay. Humans type easy to read domain names like boot dev. DNS resolves those names. IP addresses. Client. Get IP address. Request IP address. Let's put that. And then I'll put the quote. Domain names are for humans. IP addresses are for computers. Why isn't he fishing? Okay, so IP address for computers, and then we introduce an ICANN. We'll go into more detail in a future course, but to get simplified data, just introduce ICANN, not-for-profit organizations that manage the US. Whenever your computer attempts to resolve a domain name, it connects to one of the ICANN's root name servers. Whose address is included in your company's networking configuration. From there, the name server can gather domain name records for a specific domain name from their distributed DNS database. Do you think DNS as a phone book? ICANN is the publisher that keeps the phone book in print and available. DNS is a system that converts domain names to IP addresses. Yes. What does an ICANN do? It controls what you can say online. No, keeps the DNS system up and running. It's usually not for profit. Subdomains. Oh sure, speaking of, I haven't done JAD yet in a while. That's definitely on the list. It's just that I'm putting it off. Mainly because I want to do more quests and I need to train up skills to do these quests. So it kind of works out that I'm studying and then just AFK training, so people also know that I trained legitly. Like I'm actually just grinding shit out most of the time. Okay, let's try and get through this lesson. We learned about domain names, resolved to IP addresses, computer, subdomain, prefixes, a domain name, allowing a domain to work to route network traffic to many different servers. Boot devs on different machines in our blog. Blog is on blog.boot.dev. This is on our blog subdomain. Prefixes. Let's start a different machine in the blog. Prefixes. Prefix is domain name. Route network traffic to many different servers and resources. Update the get issues function. Now it accepts just the domain zip, but it's convenient in the API. Problem is there's a bug. Okay. API isn't hosted on root dev. It's hosted on the API subdomain. Let's run that. Well, if we learn anything from this, subdomain prefixes the domain name. That should work. Let's run that. That'll fix the bug. Pow pow. It's your boy. Okay, next lesson will be URIs, which we'll do in the next video. Stay tuned. Peace. Kinologist out.